Chapter 7, Section 1. Sales tax. Something that affects most people almost every day. Okay, every day because you have to get to school, you drive, you pay sales tax on your gas. You buy lunch. Well, no, school lunch is sales tax. You buy food. Anything that you do has sales tax. Okay? Now, the difference between sales tax and income tax is sales tax is what goes to your local government. Okay? Some of that money goes to the county. Okay? Sales tax varies depending on what county you live in. Okay? It varies on where you live. Okay? But no sales tax goes to the federal government. It all goes to your state and your local governments. Okay? The way you find sales tax is just a percentage of your cost of your item. Okay? If you go to the gas station and you buy Mountain Dew, okay, you have to pay sales tax, and depending on what county you are in, if you're in Tuscarawas County, you take the amount of the Mountain Dew, 99 cents, whatever you buy, I don't know how much they are, okay, times your rate, 6.5%. $1.49, yeah. There you go, $1.49 times 6.5%. It's gone up since the last time I've ever drank a Mountain Dew.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
It's cheaper to buy 1 liter.
Is it? All right, here are tax rates by county. I got this right off of the Ohio website, okay, ohio.gov website, and I searched in sales tax rates. Now you can see where it varies by county. The highest rate is in Cuyahoga County, okay, up there on the top where Cleveland's at, 7.75%. If you buy something in Cuyahoga County, you're going to pay 7.75% sales tax.
What's the lowest?
Okay, the lowest is the green state, or the green county, that's Stark. Okay, that's where Canton's at. Right, Canton's Stark. Okay, you're going to pay 5.75%. Okay, so if you have a choice, if you're buying something very large, okay, huge item, would you want to buy it in Cuyahoga County or Stark County? Stark County. Okay, you don't want to go to the Lowe's if you're buying materials for your house. If you don't want to go to the Lowe's in Cleveland, you want to go to the Lowe's in Canton. Okay, pay less sales tax. The larger amount of items, percentage matters more. You're saving hundreds, okay, by just that little bit of percentage. Okay, right here is Tuscarawas, 6.5%. Most counties have 7%. All the blue ones are 7%. All the yellow ones are 6.5%. The highest one is 7%. That's the average, probably right around there. Then the yellow is 6.5, and the pink are 6.75. Okay, the purple one down there, what's that one? 6.25. Butler County. Right on that's Cuyahoga, that's 7.75. That's the expensive one. Okay, the green is the 5.75 Stark County. Okay, any questions? Now, not all of that goes to, we need to talk about what goes where. Okay, what amount goes where? Well, if you look, here's all the counties. Okay, so let's look at Tuscarawas County, since that's where most of us live. Okay, Tuscarawas County, 1% of the 6.5% goes to your county. So that leaves you with 5.5%. That goes to the state. Okay, so 5.5% gets sent to Columbus for them to spend. 1% of that sales tax goes to your Tuscarawas County. Okay, you look at, let's look at Cuyahoga County, that's the highest one. Let's see where that money goes. 1.25% of that goes to the county. 1% goes to the transit tax rate. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Okay, but that's probably why it's so high, because 1% goes to, maybe it's roads. It might be to fix roads. Okay, so 1% is charged extra since there's so many roads to fix in Cleveland. Okay, I'm not sure exactly, but transit tax, it kind of makes sense. Maybe it's like a bus fare or taxi or trains. Like if they have train systems of any sort, subway systems, Okay, that transit probably goes to that. Okay, I'm guessing busing, things like that. Okay, so if you look, Cuyahoga, Franklin, Portage, Mahoney, Montgomery, those are the counties that have a transit tax rate. That's probably why Cuyahoga County is 7.75, because it's that 1% that goes to the transit, the subway or the bus system. Okay? That's in October 2010, by the way. So there's probably newer ones. That was a while ago. That was like over a year and a half ago. I looked for more today. I looked for the updated ones today and yesterday. I couldn't find it. I don't know what website I got that off of. I couldn't find the updated
Taxes will go up again because minimum wage is going up.
Yeah, minimum wage went up, so taxes probably go up.
To what? 770. Ooh.
All right. Sales tax rate based on states. Now these are probably this is actually just the state tax rate. Okay, so if we look at Ohio, the state tax rate for Ohio is 5.5%, and then it varies whatever the county's at additionally. Okay, so if you look, California, you go to California to buy something, you're going to pay 8.25% tax. Pretty high. Okay, 8.2825. If you look at, what else? Minnesota, 6.875.
Which state doesn't have any tax taxes none?
New Hampshire doesn't have state tax. Usually what happens for those, all the money goes to the county. A lot of times if there is tax. Delaware, or Alaska has zero tax.
Yeah, they don't have state tax for everything. They're expensive. Yeah.
Arizona,
Yeah, lots of
probably goes to local. Okay, Montana, New Hampshire, Oregon. Okay, and those are, you can see as well, there's a food tax. Some states charge extra taxes on food. Okay, and some states charge extra taxes on prescription and non-prescription medication. Okay, just ways that they can get more money. Okay, how do I find sales tax? Okay, or the amount of sales tax. A customer at Round Table Pizza purchased several pizzas for $49.95. Sales tax in the state, instead of the state, okay, is 5%. Find the amount of sales tax and the total amount collected. Okay, so how do I find the sales tax, first of all? Well, it's just P equals B times R. Okay. P equals B times R. What is the amount of the sale? $49.95. That's part A. And what's the sales tax rate? 5%. So I'm going to multiply it by 5%. And what do you get? How much sales tax do you have to pay? $2.50. So what is the total amount you have to pay for the pizza? Well, you take your $2.50 and you add it to your $49.95. Your price of your pizza is $49.95 plus your sales tax that you have to pay is $2.50, and that means I have to pay $52.45. I have to pay $52.45 for the pizza. Any questions? That's probably the easier part. All right, let's move on. All right, sales tax on a Murray 5 horsepower ultra push mower. Okay, it sounds like a heavy duty something. Okay, is $16.14. If the sales tax rate is 6%, find the price of the mower. Now we're given the sales tax, but we don't know the price. Okay, so if we use our P equals B times R, what don't I know? What is going to be my variable? The amount of the amount of the mower, which is the B. Okay, so I don't know B, but I do know my P is 1614, and I do know that my rate is 6%. Okay, or 0.06. Right, to solve for B, I just have to solve the equation and divide by 0.06. So what's 1614 divided by 0.06, or what's the cost of the mower? $269 per mower. Okay, so that's my part A. So what is the total, or it doesn't have, in your homework you have a part A and a part B. Okay, it asks for the price of the mower, then it asks for the total amount that you paid. So how do I find the total amount? If the mower was $269 and the sales tax was $16.14, just add them together. I'm going to take $269 plus $16.14. Well, what's the price you have to pay for your mower?
$285.14.
$285.14. So this is the original price of the mower. That's the total price you pay, including sales tax. Okay, move on. Okay, Coleman Head Start Preschool purchased some playground equipment at a total cost of $3,663.36, including sales tax of 6%. Find the price of the equipment before the sales tax. Now, if you look back to the problem before, how did we find the total amount that we have to pay? We took the price of the mower, right, or the B. Okay, we took the B plus the sales tax. Well, what is sales tax? It's the P, or the base times the rate. Okay, if I take $269, the B, and multiply it by my 5%, my rate, and I get my sales tax, right? So I'm adding B plus B times R, and that gives me the total price. Well, that's exactly how we're going to find the original price of the equipment, okay, the B. Well, I know my total price, but I don't know my base. Okay, I don't know my base, and I don't know the amount of my sales tax. So how do I find it? Well, I'm going to use exactly what we just did. We take the cost of the item, okay, or the B, the base price, plus the sales tax to get the total price. Well, I know my total price is $3,663.36. Okay, now this is probably the hardest, like, algebra math problem that we have to do. Okay, what else do I know? I know my rate is 6%. But the only thing I don't know is my B. I have one equation and one unknown. How in the world do I solve, go back to your algebra class, how do you solve this one?
Take the total, multiply by 6%, and then subtract what you get.
No, I can't because I have two B's here. What do I have to do first? How do you get that those B's together? Anybody ever heard of factoring? You guys should have heard of factoring back in algebra. You guys remember factoring? This is a really simple factoring. Okay, we're not going to do complicated factoring. Okay, this is really simple. You guys remember distributive property? Okay, we're going to do the backwards of distributive property. Okay, it's called factoring. Okay, what's common in both of these parts? The B, right? The B is common. So you're going to pull out the B. Okay, in Mrs. Yoder's term, you're going to fish it out. Okay, you guys remember the term fishing? We used to call it fishing. Okay. Then what do you have left? What do you have left? Well, in this one, I just have a 1, which is in front of the B. Okay, I have 1 plus, what do I have left here? 0.06. I'm taking a B out. Now, if you're not sure if you're right, go ahead and distribute that B. Okay, what would I get, okay, if I thought to myself and I redistributed the B? I'd get B plus B times 0.06. Is that what I had before? Yeah. Okay, so we're just pulling out the B, factoring out a B. So I'm right, so go ahead and solve the rest of your problem. Now, how do I do that? Well, first simplify what's inside of your parentheses. I have B and 1.06, 1 plus 0.06, which is 1.06. And how do I solve that for B? Yeah, divide. Divide both sides by 1.06. And B is, what's the price of the playground equipment without the sales tax? What's the calculator?
3,456.
What is it?
$3,456.
$3,456. Okay, so that's the price of the playground equipment. What is the cost? What was the sales tax? How do I find what the sales tax was? What's that? Yeah, subtract that number from your total. So I'm going to take my total, which is right here, $3,663.36, and subtract out the playground equipment. See how much of it was sales tax. What do you get?
217.36.
217.36.
207.36.
207.36. So this is the amount of the sales tax. Okay, and this is the amount, okay, of my equipment. If you add them together, you get $3,663.36, which is the total price, sales tax, and the equipment. What happens to that money, that $207.36? You have to pay it to the person who sold it to you. What do they do with it?
Funded.
What?
Pay the employees.
They can't. No, they don't. They can't use it to pay their employees. Yeah, they have to every month. They have to take the total that they collected and send it to the government. You guys know how they punch it into a computer usually when you buy something? Well, usually the computer keeps track of it. Okay, you used to have to do everything by hand. Okay, where they keep track of it every day, how much sales tax, they have to add it all up. Okay, well now, instead of doing that, now they have a computer, you type it in, you hit sales tax, it calculates the sales tax for you. At the end of the day, you run a report, it tells you exactly how much sales tax you collected. At the end of the month, you send it to the government. Okay, you send it to the state of Ohio, and you fill out this little piece of paper, send it to the state of Ohio, or you can do it online. Okay, so if you own a company, okay, and you collect sales tax, okay, once you collect it, you send it to the government. You tell them your total sales, the amount of your tax rate, what county you live in or your business is in, and they figure it out and make sure you're doing your sales tax correctly. Okay? Now, there is another type of tax. It's called excise tax, also known as luxury tax. Okay? Luxury tax. Now, this affects everybody in here. Okay? There's a lot, or actually, maybe not everybody. Maybe you guys don't all have cars, but I know a lot of you do. Okay? And you buy gas. Okay? For the remaining of you who do not buy gas, some of you probably buy cigarettes. Okay? Those of you who don't buy cigarettes, some of you may buy wine, liquor, or beer. Hopefully not, because you're not old enough. Okay? But if you would happen to illegally purchase some of these items, you're paying a very high amount of tax. Okay? On the next page, okay, well, we'll read what luxury tax is first. It's a tax on certain items charged by the federal, state, and local governments. Basically, the governments say, okay, you know what, if you want to buy this stuff, you're going to have to pay extra tax, okay, because we're going to collect money. Similar to sales tax, excise taxes are paid by or passed on to the consumer. Whoever uses it, okay, has to pay the tax. Excise taxes may be either a percent, like sales tax, or a fixed amount. For instance, if you buy tires, you have to pay an excise tax. It's a fixed amount, usually per tire, depending on what kind of tire you have, okay? Or a combination of the two. You might have to pay a percentage and a fixed amount, okay? Depending on what you're buying. All right. State sales tax on gas, cigarettes, and alcohol. Now, this table was February 1st, 2010. So this was like almost 2 years ago. I cannot find updated lists, okay? And I didn't want to spend too much time on it. But you get an idea of how much tax you're paying. It's going up all the time. Well, let's look at gas first of all. Okay, here's the state sales tax. Okay, in Alabama, you pay 20.9 cents extra per gallon of gas. So if the gas actually costs $2, you're paying $2.20.9 per gallon, and 20.9 of that is going directly to the government. Let's go down and look at Ohio. 5.5 is our tax rate. Okay, 28 cents is going directly to the government. So right now, what is gas? $3.48. 28 cents of that. I think actually right now it went up so high it's like 58 cents. Maybe? No, because some of it's sales tax and some of it goes directly to the government. I think it's still 28 cents goes directly to the government extra on top of sales tax. So you pay your sales tax and then you pay extra tax. Now,
So you're saying if you buy 10 gallons of gas, you're spending $2.80 to the government?
I am saying you're spending $2.80 extra to the government. Let's look at cigarettes, liquor, wine, and beer. Okay? So, $1.25, okay, of your 20, or is it 20, 30, whatever pack, however much comes in, $1.25 is going directly to the government. So if you pay $5 for a pack of cigarettes, I don't know how much they cost, $5 for a pack of cigarettes, the cost of the cigarettes is actually $3.75. But $1.25 goes directly to the government. You're paying an extra tax. That probably goes up all the time. It's probably higher than that now because this was taken 2 years ago. Okay, $9.04 of every gallon of liquor goes directly to the government. Okay, so if you buy a gallon of liquor, okay, $9 is directly just extra tax on top of sales tax. Okay, per gallon. Now this was in 2010. It's probably higher now. 32 cents for wine, so not as high, but 18 cents for a gallon of beer. Okay, so these are all extra taxes on top of sales tax. Now, just take a look. Virginia, you buy liquor. Or Washington, if you buy liquor. Look how much extra you're paying per gallon of liquor.
The state of Washington or the district?
The state of Washington. D.C., you pay, is actually pretty low, $2.50. Okay, but I think the highest one we found was $29. I think it was, first period they found $29. Maybe not 29. Spirits, liquor. I think maybe 26 is the highest. 26 in Washington, you're going to pay $26.45 extra per gallon. Okay, so now you know why it's so expensive. Not necessarily that it's so expensive to make liquor. That's because the government tax is so high on liquor and alcohol. Now, let's do a couple of these problems, okay, with excise tax. A tire for a John Deere backhoe weighs 76 pounds, okay, and it sells for $680. Find the total cost of the tire, including 7% sales tax, excise tax of $4.50 plus 30 cents for each pound over 70 pounds. So basically, you have to pay a fixed amount plus a percentage of anything over 70 pounds. So I have a tire at $680. So what's my sales tax? I take $680 and multiply it by 7%.
$47.60.
$47.60 in just sales tax. Now I have to pay excise tax. Well, I have to pay a fixed amount of $4.50. But then I also have to pay 30 cents for every pound over 70. Well, how many pounds over 70 am I? 76 minus 70, 6 pounds. So I have to pay 30 cents for those 6 pounds. So it's 6 times 0.3 gives me $1.80. So not only do I have to pay sales tax, $4.50, I also have to pay $1.80 for those extra 6 pounds.
And you add them all,
Add those all together, what do you get? $53.90, all right? Okay, so I pay $53.90 in tax. What's the total cost of my tire?
$733.90.
Yeah, add your $680, your original price. Okay, and I'm going to pay $733.90. So the total cost of the tire is $733.90. That's for one stinking tire. That's a tire.
That's a cheap tire.
Yeah, that's actually kind of cheap for that.
For a backhoe tire?
Yeah,
For one
like,
tire?
They can be $2-3 grand sometimes.
That's expensive.
That's how much.
Glad I don't have a backhoe. All right, any questions so far? And that's it. Your homework is the same as it was yesterday. Some of you guys got started on easier problems. Okay, it's page 248, 249, 240 even. You guys can go ahead and get busy.
May I ever ask for those